talking unless y'all giving me land and 2,000 or more every week. You hear me?
I'm not talking. Not unless you giving me likes, you commenting, and you subscribing. You hear me? Okay. Hey, B. I know y'all sitting up there like, girl, is this an old video? Is this a throwback? What's going on? Yeah, I had to run it back for y'all, just a little piece. Okay. Go ahead and hit that like button for your girl and make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're not subscribing, but you steady coming back to the channel trying to watch you a little piece to get you a little entertainment. You know what I'm saying? To get you through the day. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thank you. Now listen, I just came to chit chat real quick about Porsha Williams as well as Drew Sidora. Y'all, Ralph decided that he was going to put some receipts out as I have been asking for receipts. He said, okay, you want some receipts? I'm going to give you the receipts. Do you want me to bring out the receipts? I'm going to bring out the receipts, okay? So we are going to tap into Ralph and Drew real quick, and then we'll touch on Miss Porsha Williams and what she has going on, okay? First things first, Ralph comes down to the social media, and you know there's been a lot of conversation about, oh, Drew's been messing with Ty. Oh, she's messing with Dennis. Oh, she's messing with Black. Oh, she's messing with... And it's like, y'all want her to be hunching on all these folks, and I can't. Okay. But aside from that, he brought us a little something. Now, see, he brought us something the other day about her being connected to Black, right? And it really didn't tell anything. It didn't show us anything. It didn't give us anything. Period. Like, what is this supposed to explain, right? So then he's like, okay, well, if that's not enough proof, then let me bring you guys some information on Ty. Well, let us get into, Ralph's social media. Okay. Let us tap into his what is this over here? His Twitter page. Okay, let us get into that. Give me 1 second while we get into that. All right. So Ralph says this: I advise Drew to stop lying and speaking negatively about my character, integrity, and or discrediting my name. This bad guy storyline was successfully used every season, and now it's time to say goodbye. And Ralph, you think that's supposed to change something? You're going to always be involved in her life, period. You're going to always figure out a way to become and remain relevant by tiptoeing over to Real Housewives of Atlanta as long as she's on it. Be very clear and be for real. Okay. And I don't feel like she was lying about your character. And if she was speaking negatively about it, I feel like it was from her experience with you. You don't get to dictate how somebody has an experience with you unless you work hard to give them a great experience. But if they don't feel like it's great, that's their personal. You know what I'm saying? She hasn't always had a great experience. Us as the viewers have witnessed you not have such a great experience. And as much as you mad at Drew for how you feel things were portrayed, you should be mad at producers for how they edited you to look. Okay? But you rushing and running to sit in front of them to have a piece of a peach as you sit in your damn confessional. Okay? So that's that, right? That's what Ralph is saying. So then Ralph decides to go and give us more. Okay, he says it's crazy how I'm called a serial cheater with no receipts when the affair that ended our marriage is denied, like explicit details haven't been out there for years. Well, first of all, there hasn't really been no explicit details. There's been he say, she say, and then y'all showed us some text messages, but the text messages, at least y'all didn't show them to us, but you shared them through Sheree at the damn reunion, and it wasn't telling anything, and that came from Kenya and Kandi. Okay, then goes on to say, keep crying for cameras and telling your fake truth, but don't confuse acting with innocence. And my other part is this: like, why do you be waiting so late to react and respond when Drew said things about you like a month ago on the show? Why do you wait so long to finally get to it? And then let me also add this too, real quick. Ralph I see one of the comments at the bottom says, we saw how you treated her on the show. Don't act like you were this amazing husband. He says off camera was amazing. But see, I disagree because I feel like Allison wouldn't dislike you the way that she do. If everything off the show was great, I do not believe that. And here's the other part too. He keeps focusing on this Tampa trip when there were already situations with y'all before the fucking Tampa trip, bro. It was before the Tampa trip. Okay. That's one. The stuff before the Tampa trip and then after the Tampa trip. That was another. You had other stuff, okay? Even the damn therapist wouldn't always agree with you. And that's probably why you stopped going to therapy, because the therapist saw through your whole in my personal, but you want to continue to put everything off on Drew. And that is the problem that y'all may often face in y'all dynamic, is because you do not like to acknowledge your fault in things. You always want to highlight what she did wrong. She did this, she did that. And I can't stand a person like that. I cannot stand a person like that. They can't accept their own accountability because they too focused on your part. I don't like that. And if that's the case for her, she also needs to do the same thing, except your part. Okay? But I feel like we've heard Drew accept that part. She literally just sat in the interview before you even tried to put all this out there and say that she can't put everything on you because she also played a part. But then here you go, because you only hear what it is that you want to hear because you have selective hearing. You want to come to the front and try and air her out when actually this still don't really show me a whole lot of SHI. But if it does, a few things, I will be clocking Drew accordingly. Okay. So let us get into the messages. All right. So this is between she and Ty. So I'm believing the green is Drew. Okay. And let me also highlight this before we get into things. My first question is, where are my question is, what are the dates on this? Because you're saying that she was cheating with Ty. And I don't know if these messages took place during your actual marriage or after you filed for a divorce. You see what I'm saying? So that right there, I'm not sure, because I could have sworn Drew did like this whole celebration for you or whatever the case is, for your birthday. Ty ended up being there, So I, when the rumors came out about her messing with Ty, was after the fact, after that, okay? And then the divorce filed and all of that. So my question is, did this take place during the marriage or after? But either way, okay? So this is what Drew is saying to Ty. That's me, baby. Oh, thank you. Okay, the person says, I love you and miss you so much. I can't wait to have you +3. Okay, now that right there is crazy. Now, I'm going to be honest, okay? Because Ty and Drew, y'all did come to the front and y'all did say that y'all was just friends, okay? I'm just telling you, okay? So then Drew says, OMG, at first I was like, wait, +3. So I'm thinking +3, meaning the kids. So she says, but I get it. And baby, I love you so much. I can't wait either. Are you ready? So then Ty says, I'm nervous. LOL at +4. I'm watching your show. My brother said, I did say I want a family. And then she says, be careful what you ask for. Oh Lord, what episode you on? And then Ty says, LOL, right. Episode 7. Okay, let's get to more. Ty, Drew says, baby, I was knocked out. She says, I just woke up thinking about you. I miss you so much. Thank you for the flowers. Crazy. LOL. Let's talk about the screenshot, because, yeah, that's strange. And then Ty says, okay, I can't sleep. I've been sleeping off and on. And then sends a photo of Drew to her. And Ty sends a photo of herself, with her haircut. And then Drew says, it looks so good and healthy. Ty says, why details on your truck, or any details on your truck? Thank you, baby. I'm trying to decide if I want to cut it or let it grow. I don't like not being able to speak on the phone to you. I'm thinking about changing my number. All right. So then you see these two together, her Drew laid back, and then there we are. Now, what I will say is, Drew, you did say that it was nothing like that and you guys were friends. But when you hear in a text message that somebody said, oh, I love you, baby, and I miss you so much, can't wait for it to be us and +3, then that does give sketchy behavior, because if you weren't messing with Ty, just come out and say it. Okay. Now, if you ask me, do I care? I still do not give a entire fuck about none of this that's being shown. Okay. I don't. I do not at all. Because Ralph has also done things as well for me. Okay. The most that I would say is, I've been asking y'all to actually show me something for me to feel like, oh, Drew is this liar that y'all say that she is. And I feel like this right here does make you out to be a liar, to say that, oh, you guys were just friends, or downplaying the situation when you guys were interacting more and more. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it does give that, but it also is a situation of what we lying for. Like, don't nobody give a damn. Don't nobody care. It's not changing anything for me. Okay. So then he shows some more pictures of them being together. Okay. Her posted up. But also, Drew says that they did not go that far. So I will be honest and say, now I will question that just a little piece. Like, how far did y'all go? Did y'all not go that far? Because Drew says that, she's still respects marriage or whatever. So she's not finna go that far as enough to hunch her. So I don't know if she did or she didn't. However, thank you for sharing the receipts. Yeah, we may have caught her in a little piece there, a little piece of a lie saying that y'all was just friends, but she did not say what type of friends they was. Was y'all hunching friends? Was y'all not? Was y'all real close? What kind of friends was y'all at? Okay. But at the same time, like, I really don't give a fuck. I do not care. It's not changing anything for me. It does not make him look more of a saint that he is trying to look. I feel like Ralph is at a place where he wants to damage her image just as much as he feels she has damaged his image. But you have to take account for a lot of us fans aren't fucking with you because of you, not because of Drew. It's because of how you've shown yourself up on television. Right? And also, if you want to blame someone, I feel like you should blame producers for how they edited you to look as well. If that's the case, like all the other reality stars like to do, oh, it was editing, right? But you want to put it off on Drew. No, we don't like you because of you. Hockey, you know what I'm saying? So, that's just my personal, and I'm surprised, Drew still hasn't aired him out with some stuff. And I know people may be like, oh, well, if Drew hasn't shared this and that about Ralph, then it must not be true. It must not be true. No, that's not the case. I don't think that's the case. I think she definitely has proof and things on Ralph S. I feel like when you watch Drew at times, like watching this show, I feel like she don't fuck stuff up enough for me. And just sometimes even how she handles the ladies, she's even more delicate with how she does stuff. And it's like, what? Like, no, go hard at them people like those people going hard at you. But for some reason, she don't be liking to do that. She likes to be like real nice and subtle with her shade and shit. But I really wish she would air him out, because I don't care what nobody's saying. I definitely believe that Ralph was out there entertaining other women for sure. Okay? Definitely believe it. Not changing much for me. We don't care. And it was so funny to see the reaction of the people in the comments, and so many people saying they do not give a damn. We do not care what else is going on. Okay. And I find it so funny that now you guys are at this place in your divorce. Now you want to start showing information. Why you ain't been showing it? Now you want to start showing stuff, but you don't care because you don't want her, right? You the one that filed for a divorce, right? You the one that filed for it. So why you worried about what she doing? Especially with you trying to expose her with Black, and Black didn't tell us shit. Okay? So, that's that. Don't care nothing about it at all. But I did want to run it by y'all because it was a topic of conversation. Drew did come to the front and she says, listen, he's trying real hard to earn his peach today, huh? My producer, Marcus Burns, official, wouldn't fabricate or follow fake storylines. He was the person who found out Ralph was in Tampa and told me because we were supposed to get COVID tested, okay? So there's that. So what else is going on? Because not much has changed, Ralph. Not much has changed, baby. All I can do is laugh, especially because the people like, we don't care, we don't care, we don't care, we don't care, we don't care. So what else is going on? We don't care. Okay. But y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below. Because I know y'all gonna do that anyway, because it's just how y'all is. All right. It's not gonna change anything for me at this time. And that's just how I feel about that. Feel away. Have a great day. All right. The next thing I want us to get into is Miss Porsha Williams, because y'all know Porsha Williams is, I believe she's officially divorced at this time. All right. I did see a post from Lauren LaRosa where she said that from what she heard, Porsha Williams kind of won in court because the judge ended up enforcing the prenup as it is. And then I listened to another YouTuber, shout out to Lakeisha Keisha, I think that's right, where she did a video. I believe she was down at the courthouse where she got video and other things, and just listen to everything as it laid itself out. And it appears that the judge did enforce the prenup. And, although one may feel a way about that, it was a prenup that Simon and Porsha sat down and created together. He should not have put so much in her favor in that prenup, which is crazy because it seems like it was her prenup and he just signed it. That's what it sounds like to me. You didn't even really protect yourself in my personal. You should have presented the prenup to where she can't get this, she can't get that, she can get this, da 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 da. So what I'm hearing is that Porsha won a percentage of the home, okay? Meaning that she could stay in the house for like 36 months. But at some point she has to refinance the house in her name, okay? I believe any equity that they may have gained in the house, I think she may get, but she may have to split that with Simon. What else was said? She's supposed to still get $40,000 a month because she was already getting that at one point when they were married, right? But Simon says that he's been in ICE custody, so it's affected his business and stuff, but that's not really true. I don't believe it fully affected his businesses, especially if you saying that you have over $300 million or you're worth over $300 million. Okay. So that's that. What else? So he is supposed to continue to pay the mortgage and things at that house for 36 months. She's still supposed to get her $40,000 a month. And at some point, if she doesn't refinance the house in her name, then I believe that it's supposed to be sold and he gets a portion of that. But it seems like he only gets a portion of those things if he abides by what the judge told him, which is pay this lady her money on a monthly basis, give her half of the home and stuff like that. However, being a person that's worth $300 and some million, I do believe, in my opinion, that he can afford an L as far as losing this home, not abiding by any things, because he probably would have to weigh it out, right? He bought the house for what, $7 million or something like that. So if you bought it for $7 million, split down the middle, you're already not getting the $7 million back for what you purchased the home for, right? So that you're already taking a loss on that. Then you're gonna have to pay her out for 36 months, $40,000. Like, which one do you feel you're gonna lose most on, right? You're only gonna get half of the house. You're gonna be paying her out over $400,000 a year for about 3 years. Where do you feel like you could take your losses? Because he may just be like, F that, I'm gonna let the house go into foreclosure. I'm not gonna pay anything on it. And if she feels like what she said in court, she's the one that's been paying the bills. And I'm like, I would love to know what that is, because that sounds like it's about $20,000. That's my estimate. I don't know for sure how much her mortgage is, but that's my assumption of what it may be if that's a $7 million home. Right, with a low interest rate, my assumption is that that's probably 20 racks a month, and I don't know if she is or not getting that from YouTube, but she said that she paid that for the past few months or something. And when they asked her how much, how much was it, or whatever the case, or who did she send the money to, or whatever, she didn't have any answers. And I feel like the reason she didn't have the answers is because she had people in the courtroom that she did not want that information to be released to, which is why she sat on the stand and said, I don't know. She didn't want her financial details out there like that. So that's why she probably lied on the stand and did a lot of I don't know, IDK. But that's interesting. And that makes so much sense as to why Porsha came to YouTube, because if he's not paying and she may be making enough money and she may need a supplement, she may need something else to supplement the income or whatever the case, the money that's missing in an effort for her to maintain in that house, then yeah, she will run to YouTube to try and make that additional money in an effort to continue to stay in that house, because that also sounds to me that she can't afford to stay in that home, in all honesty. So she needed to go out and get another source, right? And that source was YouTube for the time being. Okay. I don't know. I can see Porsha leaving this home. I mean, I feel like if it goes into foreclosure, it's a situation where they both would lose, but I feel like he the one that could benefit, I feel, or not necessarily be so hurt by the home being foreclosed on, because if he has $300 and some million, his money is only going to increase, because one, I'm not paying you out the $40,000. I don't care. I'm not going to continue to pay all the bills at that house. No, if you said that you've been paying them for the past few months, keep paying them, right? He could be a spiteful guy like that. You would want him to honor what the judge says and honor the prenup that you chose to sign. But at the same time, I don't really fault him if he like, listen, I'm not doing this. Okay. If the roles were reversed and that was, her having to pay, I'd probably be like, girl, yeah, don't pay this. Girl. Oh no, 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 girl. He don't get to file a divorce from you, and then he finna get half of your shit, girl. Okay, like Ralph. Oh no, you don't get, you don't get that. Don't pay it. Okay, so it's being said that he is going to be appealing the judge's rulings, but I don't see things changing. I feel like him appealing is only stalling the process, honestly, is what he's doing. And being that he has been deported from America, he's back to Nigeria. Why the fuck would I continue to pay on something in America? No, since she gets to get the house and she gets half of the house, okay, he may try and fight her to not be able to get that house potentially. I don't know. But it's like, let her have that then. So if she sell the house, which I don't even know if she gonna be able to sell it for $7 million, she might. I think she gonna probably have to sell it for a little less than that. I mean, she could try and sell it for $10 million. We'll see. She might get that. She might. But I would say let her have the house then. She gonna get it anyway. But the thing is, if he is not paying the note on the house is going to go into foreclosure, right? So what he's doing is yeah, she gonna have to come up with the money on her own in order to stay in that house. And she could try and sue him, but again, he's not in America. So he may be on some, I don't care. I don't care. And being a business person that I am, thinking as if I'm Simon, he's probably like, I'm a shake and maneuver and move things around to where you ain't finna hit me. If you trying to like, sue me or garnish or do something like that, like, nah, I'm gonna reroute my stuff. I got multiple names. Okay. Yikes. He does have multiple names. So I feel like a scammer will definitely scam. And if you think that Simon gonna pay all of that, I will be highly surprised that Simon is going to give Porsha her $40,000 a month, turn around and let her stay in the house for 36 months until she refinances the house into her name while he's paying all of the bills. When he was I think he paid it before he got locked down in ICE. And she said she's been paying it for the past 3 months. I guess since he's been locked down in ICE, no bills have been getting paid. And, he may feel like she had something to do with him going into ICE. I don't know if she did or didn't, but he might feel that way. And with him feeling that way and knowing that you got the money to pay for it, then keep paying for it. I'm not going to pay for that. So I don't know what the workaround is going to be. I don't know what the workaround is going to be, but he effed himself with how that prenup was set up because the judge enforced the prenup as it is. You were okay with the prenup when you signed it. And you got to sign a prenup thinking about if the prenup ever needs to be enforced, it's because you guys are not on great terms. It's because you guys are severing ties. So you got to think about that from that standpoint of if we were going through a divorce and it wasn't a great divorce for me and the marriage ended bad, what would I truly be okay with this person having? In a state of me being upset, would I really want to get this 40 racks a month? In a state of me being upset, would I really want to get this half of a house? No. He should have wrote in there, I'll buy you a house that's worth $1 million or less. Maybe that's what he should have wrote in there. You can't stay in this house. You can't have a portion of this house. I will forfeit my rights to this home if he is willing to purchase me another home at said amount, potentially. Right? To me, that sounds more reasonable than her getting half of a $7 million home because then you're paying out more. So it's kind of a situation of that's what you get a little bit because you weren't properly thinking. You sat up there and slick played Fallon. Okay. Now Porsha is your karma, and that's what your ass get. Right? But then at the same time, Porsha, you also played in that lady face. Got with this man. Granted, if you could pull off the lick, girl, pull it off, okay? It's give it. Don't scam me and think I can't scam you back. Do what you gonna do. But at the same time, if he doesn't do that, that's what you get. You know what I'm saying? It's like a shrug shoulders. Like, I'm not finna let you come up off me no more than what you've already come up off of me. And I don't live in America anymore. I'm not even a citizen, so I'm not even finna be abiding by the rules of y'all state or y'all land. Like, you got me fucked up. Like, I'm not finna do shit's naive. Okay? For real. Not finna let it foreclose. Okay? Let it foreclose. Period. Let her go through that struggle. But let me tell y'all, the way Porsha finna be sit up here bouncing on everybody's screen because one, she gonna be trying to maintain that household until she gets to a place where she can sell it. And here's the other thing. I just feel like I do think that the money is tight. I have no doubts about that Porsha's money is tight. The lady literally stopped working her jobs to receive money from this man. Okay. And the money she's received from him during the time that she's been there may have had to go into the upkeep of that home. Maybe he just paid for certain things and not all things. I don't know. Okay. So then she got the Rolls Royce situation, right? Trying to figure out what's gonna happen with that. I think that the tags and things are expired. Do you think that he's about to go and renew that? Do you think that he's about to put anything in her name as far as that car? She probably gonna have to buy that car from him or figure out a way to sell it back. But if you're not the owner, because keep in mind, Simon never made her the owner of the vehicle. So it's just gonna be a sitting car, or she gonna have to risk getting caught driving in a vehicle that's not registered. And she can't say that's her husband no more because they not divorced. And he don't even live in America. So how is that going to work? That's crazy. So it definitely would have benefited her better if he was here in the U.S., right? Because then I feel like the prenup could truly be enforced, in my assumption. But now that he's not even here, how does that even work? I mean, it probably could affect him trying to get citizenship in the future, but I don't think he's ever going to get citizenship. He's going to come up with a new name and he's going to finesse a new way to get back into America. That's just what it is. He may have to wait till Trump is gone before he do it, but I promise you he probably going to finagle something. But when you're a person worth that many millions of dollars and you in the oil industry or whatever, listen, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him right back over here again. Okay? And he damn sure not finna be in Nigeria, child. He probably finna go over there in Dubai and live it up and relax while she's over here somewhat. I don't know if it's gonna be solely struggling, but somewhat trying to maintain the premises of that house because it's more than just the $7 million or however much it is in mortgage. I don't know why I think it's probably like around 20,000, but it could be maybe 10 or something. I don't know. But I'm just thinking about like interest and things like that. So yeah, I would think that it's probably closer to 20K, and she not gonna be getting that 40K because if he was paying her at least the 40K a month, then she could use some of that to take care of the household expenses. But I don't think Simon finna do any of that. And I'll be honest, if I got deported from a country and you think that I'm finna continue to handle business back there, no, me and that country are enemies right now, and so are the people in it. Like, I'm not y'all. Not a bing, not a boom. Okay, not finna get it. Never gonna get it, never gonna get it. Never gonna get it, never gonna get it. Never gonna get it, never gonna get it. Never get it. Period. Like, you would never get it from me. So find another fool to play with, because I've been a fool enough. Foolish of me to think that I have played the fool long enough to think that I'm going to play it anymore. And I'm not in America. That's crazy. Okay, so we'll see. I don't know. Hopefully Porsha can get the home refinance in her name. If not, and Simon does not pay those bills, baby, she going to have to do something to keep it from going into default. And maybe it's something she can manage. Maybe it's something she can't. And she's probably going to try to put the house up for sale after they realize that and then he got to pay her attorney fees, which the attorney somebody is over $200 and some $1,000. Baby, bye. Okay. I don't think that man ain't nobody getting no money. So even if Porsha can sell that house, she probably gonna have to turn around and pay the damn attorney. Like, that's just gonna be interesting. I would like to see and know, especially for the attorneys, leave it in the chat. How does that work when a person is not in this country and has a business that needs to be handled in this country? How does that work? Child, when people commit crimes in the country, they barely can get the person to come back to the country to serve the time for the crime they committed. So why would he sit up there and pay America or pay her in America? Like, I just don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. Knowing that he was locked up in ISIS custody and they shut it all down. Now that he's over in Nigeria, you don't think they're going to shut it all down? Porsha going to have to take care of that on her own. And the best asset she has is that home that she may potentially lose. Hopefully she don't lose it. But, you know, if it goes up for sale before the year is out, then we know that it's a tough time for her trying to maintain her own lifestyle and pay for that home. And also, she doesn't think it's something she can do long term, which is why she's trying to go ahead and sell it before it ends up in foreclosure. So yeah, I think when a house is about to be in foreclosure, even when they notify and say, hey, we about to, this house is being foreclosed on, and if you don't give us a payment, then we're going to be selling it on the courthouse steps, or however it works. I feel like she gonna be definitely, the moment she get that foreclosure letter, she gonna be trying to sell it like that month. But you're gonna need more time on that for a $7 million home that you're probably gonna be trying to gain extra profit off of and sell for like 7 point something or 8 million. I mean, even though now I feel like it's no longer a seller's market, I feel like it's flipped to a buyer's market at this point. A buyer is likely gonna make you come down on that price, and they may make you sell that shit for like, I wouldn't be surprised if it sold for $5 million or less. Now, I do feel like that's still a plus for Porsha, because with that $5 million, it's not like she has to split that with Simon if Simon doesn't pay anything. So if he does not pay any of the stuff that he's supposed to pay, then she's still pretty much getting what I guess she would have got anyway. If she sold it for at least $5 million, she would have got the $40K a month, all wrapped up in that one lump sum, along with her portion of what she would have gotten from the house had she split it down the middle if everything went right anyway. But to Simon, he may be looking like, I'm still saving money by letting this shit go into foreclosure and letting you handle it, me not giving you your $40K a month, and going from there. All right, you could just have a house at this point and just sell it. But he's supposed to be appealing. Don't know what that's going to look like, how long that appeal process takes. But I believe even when you're appealing the home, the process of what the judge said, you're still supposed to abide by the guidelines of what the judge said. So Simon is out for blood, so much so that I do not see him continuing to pay any of Porsha's bills on that house. She will definitely be doing that on her own. So like I said, if we see that house go up for sale within the next year, then we know that long term Porsha's not going to be able to afford those bills at that house. Okay. And I don't know, she may try and silently put it on sale or something. I don't know. But those sales be public records from my understanding. So at least that's what I thought. So we'll have to see. But good luck. All right. Good luck to Miss Porsha and everything. Miss Ma'am just may have scammed a scammer, and the scammer just may be scamming back. All right. But y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below, honey. I'll let y'all argue in the comments, because there will indeed be some arguments, honey. But I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.
Yeah, tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a praxis. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith. Game time, I invaded gym, high elevated, I can face the rim. Putting shots up, I got laser focus, about to take it over, I'm Invader Zim. On a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man, they say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasting film, I can feel the pool